Kanye West, white identity extremism, and double standards. In this video, going to continue breaking down a topic that's not really discussed for a variety of reasons amongst a lot of the younger generation. A lot of people are living in fear, losing their careers, losing credibility on their channel, as a bulk majority of the audience on YouTube are white people who may not necessarily identify with white identity extremism. And it's weird where a lot of times individuals who are oriented in white identity extremist mentalities tend to exist or coexist in environments where they're the dominant group. You don't really see, you still see it in groups where they may be the minority. Maybe there are more numbers in different cultures and different ethnicities, but on the public level, and there's different levels to human interaction where you have your lower sort of societal public engagement level, your jobs, the bus transits, things like that. Then you have more executive, sort of county governmental levels, things of that nature. In terms of the public level, you see more of identity extremist ideology at work when in the public layer, they are the dominant group. It's just more open, it's more outright. And white identity extremism is identified to an ideology or mindset that centers white identity as superior, entitled, or deserving of protection, often accompanied by systems or behaviors that protect members of that identity while holding others to harsher standards. So here, this sort of orientation prioritizes those who are in group of more deserving of protection. Kanye West, Kanye West is very controversial. So this is not me by any means, you know, saying that we shouldn't have some sort of responsibility and accountability for the things that come out of our mouth. That's just a rule across the board. So things that we do, good or bad, have consequences. Kanye West is no exception. He's even said things about the Black community that weren't really ideal, especially around slavery. And the timing of some of the stuff that he says, sometimes I can understand where some people, they take these things personal. So this isn't me saying that there shouldn't be any accountability to the what we say that comes out of our mouth. In the scripture, it talks about how life and death is in the power of the tongue. However, the same treatment, punitive consequence, and that's what white identity extremists sort of. I'm gonna talk my talk in this video. This channel is not going to get monetized. I don't got any incentives on this channel anyway, so I operate from a state of freedom, which I love. White identity extremism operates from a place where a lot of times the consequence is the order of the day for them. And you see this even in a lot of the younger generation of white identity extremists in America, where they can't wait to punish you for something. Like with that Drewski skit, he didn't even say it was about Erica Kirk. I mean, clearly it was, but it wasn't like he had Erica Kirk blasted in the title. Erica Kirk, Erica Kirk, Erica Kirk. It was a parody. And it's sometimes I'm just like it's just sometimes it just goes beyond your mind where you're just like, man, how can these extremists, and this is a little select group of you guys, because I noticed with not white people who are more cultured, they got a little bit more common sense. Now it's getting down to just basic common sense. Identity extremism is very irrational, it's very delusional, distorted, which is why you see so much controversy around majority of the things that they do in society. But it just sometimes it just kind of just blows your mind, their judgment and how they they approach situations with people where it's like clearly blackface has a history that was rooted in discrimination, alienation, even traumatizing and exploiting Africans, slavery, while these people were getting murdered, slaughtered, separated from their families, barely can survive and feed themselves because the wages they were making were pennies, I mean, to a dime. Just these people are already in just a severely stressed state. And then you have these minstrel shows and, these white folks dressing up in blackface during a time where, they didn't even recognize black people as human beings. So clearly the context, sometimes I'd be wondering, like, do white identity extremists, do they know their history? Do you guys study your history? And they got so much executive control in America, which is why it's not a bad thing if this world does end. Whose world is ending? The white identity extremist world, because don't know black folks got a horse in this race. Okay, the white identity extremists, distorted, unfair, just unjust, no justice, just killing people senselessly. You got Trump talking about he's gonna take out the whole country of Iran over some damn oil. And these white folks out here, these identity extremists in America, got more privilege, more advantages, more resources than over half of the earth. And you can't get this little, and it's not like America is depending on the Strait of Hormuz like somewhere like Australia or the Philippines, where over 50% of their oil is coming. They only a quarter of their oil. It's just it's just sad. You get to the point where and believers are in a tight spot. It's so hard being a Christian because you're called to be loving, compassionate, forgiving. You can't, it's almost like you got to be careful what type of Christianity you lean into. That's a whole nother discussion because you got so many white identity extremists involved where they even distort the even just the quality and the accuracy of being a believer in this world. Being a Christian doesn't mean you put your tail between your legs and you just let injustice reign and you get down and you pray and just get your damn head chopped off. People were dying because they were fighting these systems. You fight the good fight of faith. That's not just sitting around being passive and letting corruption just destroy everything. These people were speaking out against truth. Jesus Christ was speaking out against some of these systems ran by the Romans and the oppression, right? We come to liberate, right? We come to free the oppressed. This is black talk. And it's not just limited to black people, but this is what a lot of our conversation has been in this world, fighting these systems of injustice. We got to even read a lot of the stuff that these white identity extremists, and I'm not mad because I know where I'm going. All right. So this isn't coming from a place of like bitterness and oh, he just mad because his YouTube channel ain't popping. He just mad because he go. I'm not mad at all. I would rather not be famous. You guys take so much pride in, oh, we made him famous. Everybody don't want to be famous. Everybody don't want to eat what you eating. Everybody's not in it for the same things. Everybody's not driven by money. Everybody's not driven by social desirability and trying to be accepted by you white identity extremist folks. Not at all. I sleep great at night. And if anything, people who really are speaking the truth, who really are fighting against a lot of this nastiness you guys got going on, you're just setting yourself up as being a target, being famous in your reality. It's not worth it for people like me. And I'm mindful that there's different types of black folks, okay, where they don't mind keeping their mouth shut. They don't mind going along to get along. So those might be the ones that need you to make them famous. I'm not one of those guys. So this isn't coming from a place where it's like any bitters. I'm straight. This is just, we got to redefine anything these white identity extremists have touched. We got to redefine it. We got to start looking at things differently because we don't operate the same. We're not the same. That's just the facts of it. And, you know, it's really hard to fight for Kanye West because Kanye West needs to learn to fight for himself and what comes out of his damn mouth. I love his music, you know. I do believe people do deserve chances to get it right, and they do deserve forgiveness, but you can't exploit it. You can't exploit people forgiving you. You can't just keep, okay, you guys forgive me. All right, I'm gonna go lash out and and go crazy again. You can't. That's not how it works. So a part of me is kind of like, well, maybe he need to learn this lesson. That yes, people are going to forgive you. Yes, people can be forgiving, but it's not something that you exploit, even if you don't intend to. If there's a reoccurring pattern, you can't be mad at people for just kind of being like, we don't really know if we can really bank on this because he said some really hurtful things. What's going to stop him from saying, our reputation precedes us? So again, this isn't me saying that you shouldn't take accountability for your word, this and that, but look at all the shit that goes down in the white identity extremist community, right? You got Prince Andrew, they're saying he's in the Epstein files. I think he got a little bit of questioning, and they kind of throw him in the back of the paddy wagon, and okay, then he's released. Really no accountability, really no convictions, really nothing. And you see a lot of this. This is a global. This white identity extremist economy is a global thing. You see it in America. The new attorney general that comes in. Nobody's getting prosecuted. All right, you guys. That's the justice flag wavers. Sit down. All right. Um, so this is a serious issue. There are a lot of double standards. I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time. And a lot of you guys are not trying to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway because it definitely needs to be said. So again, white identity extremism is an ideology or mindset that centers white identity as superior, entitled, or deserving of protection, often accompanied by systems or behaviors that protect members of the identity while holding others to harsher standards. You see this all the time. I'm out here in Orange County, California. We do not, these white folks out here, these the particular identity extremist groups, they do not operate by the same rules as we do as black folks. And you can see it. Just the nastiness in their body language, just how they talk to you, how they treat you. You can see it in a lot of these. And again, they tend to turn it up in environments where they have the majority of the numbers. They're smart. They're smart. They're not wise, but they're smart. They know where they have leverage. White identity extremism plays off of leverage. Where do I have more people who think like me so I can really just turn up this power dynamic? That's all it's about. And I have some notes here. So Kanye West and the Wireless Festival. So when Kanye West faced backlash and cancellations tied to his statements, including situations like the Wireless Festival, many people saw a swift and decisive cultural response, loss of platforms, partnerships, and public support. The reaction becomes a starting point. So it says here, why does accountability appear immediate and absolute for some of us, but negotiable or delayed for others? A double standard is when the same behavior is judged differently depending on who does it. One group faces harsher consequences, another group receives leniency, delay, or protection. There has been no history where black people have dressed up as whiteface, and there has been no history collectively of Africans dressing up as whiteface to exploit white people ever, ever in history. There's no connection. It's not the same at all. And the first thing a lot of these white boys want to do, oh, I'm going to get up here and I'm going to do blackface. They want to make everything in history so similar. And it's so crazy because a lot of that white identity extremist culture basically positioned itself to be separate from everybody. We have these benefits, you guys don't. Essentially, the whole white identity is propagated off of this is us, this is you. We are not the same. Yet, present day, when black folks dress up as whiteface and for comedy or for whatever, now it's like, oh, it's not the same. It's okay when you guys do, but it's okay. It's like this shit is like it's psychotic what's going on in the world today among these different racial groups. It's psychotic. Something got to change. And of course, you don't want to. Who would love to see their children and people have to lose lives. But it's this is the sinful world that we live in, where people have to die and have to lose life. We have to threat with nuclear war just to uproot this white identity system and how just deeply embedded it is into this world to create change for a Messiah. This is how sick this humanity has become, where we have to basically threat people with nuclear war, where your bone, your skin is falling off your flesh, your whole nervous system is just basically just destroyed. We have to suffer just to uproot this nastiness that these people have created in this world. It's disgusting. It really is, and you can't blame people for being like, I'm even seeing videos of white folks where they're disgusted. Finally, they're getting it. Finally, better later than never. It's never too late for God, because even He can raise the dead. Now they're even finally waking up, which I'm sure for years they kept their mouths shut because they want to keep their jobs. They want to stay on these boards. They want to keep this accessibility. Now they're getting older. Now they got retirements. They got pensions. A lot of them are pension babies, so they can kind of flex a little bit. All the conditions it takes for white people who don't identify as white identity extremists to really speak up. All the work. Do y'all see this? Right? But then people who speak on it, who communicate on it, you guys want to flag their channel. You want to block their channel. This shit needs to be getting out. The more people who are aware, you can have some space for solutions, problem solving. But you guys are so dumb the fuck down. Where it's like, even the platforms, when they build them, they have mechanisms already sort of constructed into them where you can't even say what needs to be said. Okay? So, unforgiveness. This is another principle. They have white identity extremists kind of have their own set of rules that they function from. Double standards, unforgiveness, right? Unforgiveness is the refusal to release judgment, extend grace, or allow redemption after a wrongdoing. It shows up as a permanent labeling. You are what you did. That's why a lot of people avoid white identity extremists. We're in a modern age. People are a little bit more sarcastic than they used to be. People are more vocal. And a lot of you guys can't handle it. You're so sensitive. You're so in your feelings, but you can go out and slander everybody in these comment sections on YouTube, and it's all right. But nobody can say nothing to you. That's why I block my comments. People who support me, who respect me, nothing but love to you guys, because I know it's not everybody. I have some really good people on my channel, and I love you guys. I really, really, really appreciate you guys. But then there's some of you guys out there where I don't even want to give you a chance. I don't even want to give you the platform to express your ignorant ass. Okay? So, and it wasn't like the UK gave Kanye West a pathway to repair. Hey, this is what you need to do in order for us to maybe revoke some of these restrictions where we'll allow you back in. This is the pathway back for your redemption. No, nothing. I never had it in me to visit the UK. My wife wanted to go to England. As a Black American from Detroit, there is nothing in England for me. Nothing. Why the fuck am I going to England and I can barely coexist with white identity extremists in my own damn country? Why? I never really got that. That's not really a flex for me. And it sucks for people who are in the UK who are Kanye West fans who just want to go listen to the music and support the brother. Salute to you guys. Sorry that you guys got to be the brunt of this. So the double standards are ridiculous. Prince Andrew was publicly connected to the network surrounding Jeffrey Epstein. Prince Andrew faced lawsuits, public scrutiny, and settlement. However, he was not criminally convicted. Moral language used selectively. Reputation management prioritized over truth. Rules apply to outsiders. Limited forgiveness, immediate consequences, public exposure, moral labeling, permanent record of wrongdoing. Rules internally, delayed accountability, reframe narratives, protect status, quiet settlements, preserve legacy. When any group, not just racial, but political, institutional, or elite, begins to protect its own at all costs, punish outsiders more harshly, control narratives, and reward loyalty over truth, it can begin to resemble cult like dynamics, meaning loyalty over morality, image over accountability, and belonging over truth. 5 ways to punish others, protect ourselves. Culture perpetuates more harm. One, it signals permission. When insiders avoid consequences, it communicates if you're protected, you can get away with it. What behavior grows in the absence of accountability? It silences victims. If victims see unequal justice, they think speaking up won't matter. This leads to underreporting, internalized pain, and generational trauma. It distorts morality. Right and wrong become based on identity, not action. If morality bends depending on who you are, is it morality at all? It breeds resentment and division. People begin to feel targeted, unfairly judged, distrustful of systems. It fuels social fracture, anger, and radicalization on all sides. It enables repeat offenses. Without consequences, behavior escalates. Networks of harm expand, especially dangerous in cases involving youth or vulnerable populations. What would have been prevented if accountability came sooner? The issue is not just race or one group. The deeper issue is power without equal accountability creates selective justice. And selective justice always leads to distrust, pain, and repetition of harm. Sit with these. Who gets canceled and who gets protected? Who is labeled permanently and who is given grace? Who defines justice and who is subject to it? Is forgiveness being used as healing or as a weapon? If the rules were applied equally, what would change? There's still room to repent. There's still room to ask God for forgiveness, to restore your soul, to right your wrongs. Each day is a new day of forgiveness and opportunity to reconnect with the Lord, reconnect with the Most High. You don't have to live in a state of condemnation. You can always have an opportunity with the Most High to forgive yourself. It starts with you. Love yourself. Have compassion on yourself, and that extends to others.